Okay, class, here's what I want you to do. First, take out your notebooks, then write 3 sentences about what you did over the weekend. Make sure you use the past tense. And when you finish, share your writing with your partner and help each other fix any grammar mistakes. Got it? Begin.
She said 3 sentences, past tense, and then share with the partner. Easy. ¿Qué dijo? Oh, una libreta. ¿Y luego qué? No sé qué hacer.
Something went wrong here, and it has to do with working memory. Let's find out what that is and what we can do to support students.
Now let's define what working memory is. Working memory holds on to bits of information just long enough for you to use them. For example, when you are remembering a sentence that you want to say or the directions that your teacher is asking you to do. It's basically your brain's mental sticky note for short-term storage. We use it all the time in learning, especially when we listen, plan, and respond quickly. But here's the thing, it's temporary and it's limited. When we're using a second language, that mental sticky note fills up a lot faster. According to Williams, working memory plays a big role in how we process grammar, vocabulary, and even teacher feedback. If working memory gets overloaded, students can't hold on to what they need to succeed in the moment, especially if they're also trying to translate. Now let's put this into a classroom context with working memory. Imagine you're learning a new language and your teacher gives you 3 steps in Spanish all at once. You're trying to understand the words, translate in your head, and figure out what you're supposed to do for the assignment. It's no wonder that students get overwhelmed or forget. When working memory is overloaded, it's like everything just falls off that mental sticky note. So if students are confused or freeze, it's not about effort. A lot of the time, it's working memory being stretched too thin. Lowen points out that language learners often struggle not because they are not paying attention, but because they're managing too much information all at once. So when directions come fast without visuals, working memory could just be overloaded.
So now let's look at the research. Studies in second language acquisition have shown that working memory really does matter, especially for things like grammar, vocabulary, reading, or writing in a second language. Basically, students with stronger working memory tend to do better in L2 tasks. They're more likely to notice feedback, remember vocabulary, and keep up with fast-paced lessons found in most classrooms. Working memory isn't just one single thing. According to Lee, it's made up of 5 different but related components that all affect how learners perform in language-based tasks. These are often called the Big 5 of working memory. The first part of the Big 5 is the storage, and this is known for holding information temporarily in the learner. Second is going to be processing, which is mentally manipulating or using that information. The third is attention control, and this is the ability to stay focused and ignoring distractions. The fourth is coordination, managing multiple types of information at once. And the fifth is updating, replacing old information with new as you go throughout the lesson. In L2 classrooms, students sometimes can be pushed to the limit, especially during writing exercises in class. For example, when a student has to generate ideas, form correct sentences, remember vocabulary, and self-monitor all at once, that's a serious working memory workout for any type of learner, especially one who's just learning a language. But there are strategies we can use to help. Lowen in 2022 recommends chunking directions, using visuals and manipulatives as a part of your lesson, and repeating instructions and providing models, all of which will reduce the load on students' working memory. These supports don't just help students complete tasks, they make language learning more accessible overall.
Now let's take another look at the example from the beginning and see what we should be doing to help our students with different levels of working memory.
Class, here's what I want you to do. First, get out your notebook. Once you get open to a clean sheet of paper, you're going to write 3 sentences. How many sentences?
3.
3, that's right. And in your sentences, you're going to write about what you did over the weekend. Make sure you use the past tense. And if you don't remember how to use the past tense, just remember to look over at our chart on how we learn to do it. Do you have any questions? You can always use this sentence then. One thing I did over the weekend was blank. As you guys can see from watching the two videos, one student was successful in both because they had a high working memory, but the English language learner only did well in the second video. To support all levels of working memory, make sure that you use scaffolds, that you chunk directions, and provide visuals for students. Small changes make a big difference. Be sure you're being a teacher who notices cognitive overload and teach in a way that lightens the load for every learner.